Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 23rd of January, 2025. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the local share market fell by more than 0.5% today to close at 8,379 points. What was going on? Well, the Donald Trump commentary on tariffs certainly isn't helping at the moment. He spoke about tariffs with Mexico or on Mexican goods, tariffs on Canadian goods, Chinese goods. Well, overnight he was talking about tariffs on European Union goods. That's just putting a bit of skittishness into trading. Battery metals companies struggled, as did the big miners. The retailers also didn't do so well, and all the big banks were lower. In corporate news, Netwealth posted record net inflows in the December quarter as the company rolled out a series of technology improvements to its platform and mobile app. Its share price surged as a result. And Bain Capital has issued a revised offer for Insignia that matches the $4.60 per share offer put forward by rival bidder CC Capital. Insignia's share price has doubled since September last year. It's trading at about closed today at $4.53. The offer price is $4.60. So there's plenty going on in that stock. Story number 2, the federal government will pay Regional Express, better known as Rex, another $50 million to keep operating in rural Australia, taking the total amount of taxpayer funding since its collapse to $130 million. EY, the administrators of Rex, said it would be wound up if not for those cash injections. The administrators are actually fairly pessimistic about finding a buyer for the airline. The $50 million announced today will go to PAG Asia Capital. Now, PAG is the biggest financial backer of Rex. The government will take some of that backing off their hands, so the government will pay the money to PAG. It means Canberra is now the biggest creditor to Rex, and that gives the government more say over the airline. The airline collapsed in July after attempting to expand into ultra-competitive capital city routes. Think Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne. Bad strategic decision. Those services have now ended, but the company has continued to fly its regional routes while run by EY. Story number 3, the Australian Securities Exchange, the company, has today explained why the market went down on the Friday before Christmas. It was the first time in its history that batches of trades couldn't be completed. The chief executive, Helen Lofthouse, was speaking today. She said it was a highly irregular incident, and the ASX will provide $1 million in a goodwill payment to different stockbrokers who used the system, which is known as CHESS. Now, the problem was there wasn't enough computer memory allocated to settle the trades. That had been lurking in the system since about 2014. So the actual coding error occurred 10 years before it came to the surface. The Australian Securities and Investments Commission boss, Joe Longo, said that the ASX could now face new regulatory action as a result. It's already facing scrutiny over failure to replace the CHESS system in recent years. Story number 4, Fortescue Metals posted a record half year in iron ore shipments, despite bad weather in the Pilbara in the final 3 months of the year. Total iron ore shipments for the quarter were 49.4 million tonnes. For the full half, the 6 months to the end of December, was 97.1 million tonnes. Shifting to oil and gas, Santos reported rising revenue in the last quarter, though its performance was less than a year earlier. And story number 5, New Zealanders are leaving New Zealand in record numbers as the country's economy remains in recession. People leaving New Zealand hit record levels in the year to November 2024. According to Statistics New Zealand, 127,800 people left the nation in that year, up 28% from a year earlier. It was the highest number of people leaving in an annual period ever. Of those leaving, 50%, or in fact more than 50%, were New Zealand citizens. New Zealand has a population of $5.3 million. Its economy has struggled on the back of very high interest rates in recent years. That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 23rd of January, 2025. Make sure you hit follow on the podcast. We'll be back tomorrow morning with the Friday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Elmer. Enjoy your evening.